In August of 2010, the City of Quincy Parks Department put out for bid a request for proposals for city-owned land located on the Southern Artery, known as the Southern Tide Mill property. The only bidder, Tide Mill Partners, was awarded a lease for the property. The site is rich with history, dating back to 1802. In 1815, John Southern Jr. purchased the property and carried out several industrial activities, including a shipyard, a wharf, a grist mill, sawmill, and a canal lock. The original grist mill burned and was replaced with the existing building. However, the machinery has long been removed. In 1928, one of the tide gates was removed and the lumber mill stopped using water power. The tide mill was converted to all electric power. Years later, the Army Corps of Engineers removed the rest of the tide gate structures, ensuring that the tide mill would never operate as a tide mill again. CVS Corporation bought the property in 1998 and agreed to donate the mill buildings and several acres of adjacent waterfront property. The buildings have been boarded up and abandoned since Quincy Lumber Company closed in 1983. They continue to deteriorate. In 2001, a $300,000 grant was issued. The money was used to stabilize the post and beam foundation of the mill and replace rotted timbers on the first floor with new handcrafted timber replicas. In July of 2007, a $100,000 grant on behalf of the city through the State Community Preservation Act was issued to do partial restoration. Most recently, and through the generosity of J. Cashman Company of Quincy, restoration was completed on the exterior of the building. After the CVS subdivision, what remains is approximately 3 acres of land. The land that remains has restrictions. It is a Chapter 91 property. In addition to being Chapter 91, it is a designated port area and therefore can only be used for marine industrial purposes. Over the past 10 to 15 years, the site has become overgrown and is riddled with litter. The new trees that have sprouted up on the site have created a shelter for unfortunately homeless people who have not found their way, for whatever reason, into our local homeless shelters. It is not unusual to see several people setting up campsites on the site. The site is fully accessible and dangerous. The wharf, or what is left of the wharf, has several planks that are missing. It poses a grave danger to anyone entering the site who is not familiar with the weakness of the pier and wharf. Tide Mill Partners' plan is to restore the 3-acre site to its maritime use. The wharf will be rebuilt, docks installed for 30 lobster fishing boats with offloading capabilities. Fishing or lobstering has been a long-time tradition in Quincy. This proposal would establish a new industry. The plan also includes the construction of a seafood processing plant. For years, lobstermen have had to take their catch into Boston in order to trade. The project will provide for South Shore restaurants and retail seafood outlets to have a local wholesale seafood market right on the South Shore. There is a shared use provision that will allow for the public to walk along the boardwalk and enjoy the views of the river and fisheries operation. The plan complies with the City of Quincy parking ordinance by providing over 108 parking spaces for the site. The 22,756 square foot of commercial, industrial, and retail space will provide support for the maritime use. The Tide Mill Partners Plan calls for a participation in the incubator program for startup businesses. Finally, this project provides a new industry for Quincy. It creates 80 construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. It will clean up and make safe a dangerous site. Eliminate the site liability from the City of Quincy taxpayers. Provide an incubator program for small startup businesses. 10% of all the revenues will go directly to the City of Quincy.